Have you ever stood in your kitchen, ready to prepare what you believe is a healthy meal, only to discover later that the so-called nutritious ingredients might actually be sabotaging your heart health? It can be quite startling, especially for seniors who are already mindful about reducing their risk of high blood pressure, cholesterol issues, and other cardiac concerns. While vegetables are often hailed as cornerstones of a healthy diet, certain varieties, or more specifically the ways they're processed, can contain hidden threats like excessive sodium, added sugars, and unhealthy fats. These factors can strain the cardiovascular system, elevate blood pressure, or even encourage unwanted weight gain. Take canned vegetables, for instance. Many people rely on them for convenience, never suspecting that each spoonful might be drenched in salt or laced with preservatives. The same goes for certain fried or heavily seasoned vegetable dishes at restaurants, which may be loaded with saturated fats or hidden sweeteners. According to a study in the New England Journal of Medicine, excess sodium intake correlates strongly with elevated blood pressure, and seniors in particular can be more vulnerable to these effects. It's crucial, then, to understand that not all vegetables come to your plate equally. In this video, we will expose 10 vegetables seniors should never eat if they want to maintain or improve heart health. While never might seem like a strong word, it's essential to highlight how detrimental these specific items can be, especially when you're dealing with potential heart issues. We'll be referencing reliable medical sources and peer-reviewed studies to show why these vegetables can be harmful, and we'll offer tips on how to enjoy healthier alternatives. So let's dive in and empower ourselves with knowledge that could protect our hearts and enrich our lives. The 10 vegetables to avoid. When it comes to selecting vegetables, paying attention to the fine print on the label or the cooking technique used can make all the difference. Below are the 10 key offenders that can pose risks for seniors with heart conditions. Canned tomatoes, high in sodium. Canned tomatoes often contain added salt and other preservatives. This sodium can quickly stack up in your diet, raising blood pressure and taxing your heart. A high sodium intake has been linked to cardiovascular issues, especially in older adults. If you love the flavor of tomatoes, consider fresh or no salt added options and enhance them with herbs like basil or oregano instead of reaching for the salt shaker. Pickled vegetables, excessive salt and vinegar. Pickling involves soaking vegetables in brine, which is essentially salt water and vinegar. While a tangy crunch can be appealing, the sheer amount of sodium found in most store-bought pickled products could exceed daily recommended limits. The American Heart Association suggests keeping sodium intake below 1,500 mg per day for those with high blood pressure, and pickled veggies can quickly push you past that threshold. If you crave the flavor, opt for a reduced salt, homemade version. Deep-fried potatoes, French fries, hash browns. Potatoes themselves are not the main problem, but their deep-fried counterparts can be loaded with unhealthy fats and extra calories. Research published in the British Medical Journal showed a link between frequent fried potato consumption and higher mortality rates. Seniors with pre-existing heart conditions risk clogged arteries and elevated cholesterol levels. If you still want to enjoy potatoes, consider baking or air frying them with a small amount of heart-healthy olive oil. Vegetable chips, sneaky salt and fat. Veggie chips often masquerade as a healthier alternative to regular potato chips. However, many commercial brands are still high in sodium and fat, and some can be ultra-processed. These extra additives may spur inflammation, weight gain, and elevated blood pressure. A 2020 study in Nutrients indicated that ultra-processed foods can lead to serious health drawbacks. To satisfy your craving for something crunchy, try baking your own veggie chips at home using kale or zucchini and season lightly. Creamed spinach, high in saturated fats. Spinach is a nutrient-dense leafy green, but when turned into creamed spinach, it quickly becomes a dish loaded with butter, cream, and cheese. This combination of saturated fats can raise LDL, bad cholesterol, which is a known culprit in atherosclerosis and heart disease. The American Journal of Clinical Nutrition has pointed out that diets high in saturated fat can negatively impact heart health over time. Instead, sauté fresh spinach with garlic and olive oil for a lighter, healthier option. Canned peas, added sodium and preservatives. Just like canned tomatoes, canned peas often come packaged with extra salt and preservatives that can increase your daily sodium intake. This is particularly risky for seniors who might already be on sodium-restricted diets. Research published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology emphasizes the importance of managing sodium intake to control hypertension. If you want peas in your meals, choose fresh or frozen varieties or thoroughly rinse regular canned peas to wash away some of the salt. Fried eggplant, oil sponge. Eggplant can be a fabulous source of fiber and vitamins unless you fry it. Eggplant's spongy texture absorbs oil readily, causing a simple vegetable to become a vessel for excessive fats. A study in Circulation, Heart Failure noted that regular consumption of fried foods can contribute to the development of heart failure. Baking or grilling eggplant is a much better option, and you can add flavor with herbs like oregano, basil, or paprika without compromising your heart. Canned sauerkraut, high sodium levels. Fermented foods can be beneficial for gut health, but canned sauerkraut often contains a high sodium content that can stress the cardiovascular system. While natural fermentation can support healthy gut bacteria, the trade-off is the added salt that comes from commercial processing. A 2018 article in Nutrients cautions consumers to weigh the benefits of fermented foods against the potential downsides of high sodium. If you love sauerkraut, consider making your own with a controlled amount of salt. Glazed carrots, excess sugar. Carrots are generally a great source of beta-carotene and other nutrients, but when they're doused in sugary sauces or syrups, they become much less healthy. Consuming too much sugar can spike blood glucose levels, leading to insulin resistance, which is closely tied to cardiovascular risks. The Journal of the American Heart Association warns that added sugars can hasten the development of hypertension. Instead, roast or steam carrots with herbs and a little olive oil to bring out their natural sweetness. Canned corn, added salt and sugar. Corn can be a nutritious addition to a balanced meal, but when processed into canned form, it often comes with added salt and sugar. These can contribute to water retention, elevated blood pressure, and weight gain. The American Journal of Public Health has associated these factors with poorer heart outcomes in seniors. Whenever possible, opt for fresh or frozen corn. If canned is your only choice, look for low sodium or no sugar added options and rinse thoroughly under water. Understanding the risks, research and data. It might seem excessive to caution seniors against these 10 types of vegetables, but the underlying reasons are rooted in solid research. High sodium intake has long been connected to an increased risk of hypertension, and older adults are particularly sensitive to shifts in blood pressure due to changes in blood vessel elasticity. Over time, high blood pressure can lead to complications such as stroke, heart attack, and chronic kidney disease. Additionally, unhealthy fats and added sugars pose similar threats. Saturated and trans fats can contribute to plaque accumulation in the arteries, restricting blood flow and increasing the likelihood of cardiac events. Meanwhile, excess sugar can disrupt glucose balance, leading to insulin resistance and fostering an environment conducive to metabolic syndrome, a cluster of conditions that raises the risk of heart disease and diabetes. Seniors often have multiple medical concerns and prescription medications that can further complicate these risks, making dietary vigilance even more critical. Healthier alternatives in cooking methods. Thankfully, you don't have to cut vegetables out of your diet altogether. Instead, focus on healthier alternatives and more mindful preparation methods. Choose fresh or frozen. Fresh produce generally has lower sodium content than canned varieties. Frozen vegetables, without added sauces, can also be an excellent choice because they're often flash frozen at peak freshness, retaining most of their nutrients. Scan labels. Carefully, if convenience is essential and you must go for canned products, look for low sodium, no salt added, or reduced sugar labels. In addition, try rinsing canned veggies under running water to remove some of the sodium. Embrace roasting and baking. Roasting vegetables in the oven allows you to use minimal oil, preferably extra virgin olive oil, to get a delicious, caramelized flavor. This method avoids the excess fats associated with frying and keeps your meals lighter yet tasty. Season wisely, herbs, spices, lemon juice, vinegar, and garlic are all excellent ways to enhance flavor without the need for extra salt or sugar. Fresh herbs like rosemary, thyme, and basil can transform bland dishes into savory delights. Make sauces from scratch. Homemade tomato sauce or vegetable-based sauces let you control the salt and sugar content. This might take a bit more time, but it empowers you to protect your heart health while still enjoying the rich flavors you love. In conclusion, it's essential to recognize that not all vegetables pose a risk to seniors with heart conditions. Rather, it's the processed, pickled, or fried versions that pack in hidden sugars, sodium, and unhealthy fats. Awareness is the first step in safeguarding your cardiovascular well-being. Armed with the knowledge of these 10 risky vegetables and an understanding of how to make healthier swaps, you can continue to enjoy a diverse and flavorful diet that supports your heart. If you or someone close to you is managing a heart condition, personalized advice from a healthcare professional or registered dietitian is invaluable. They can help pinpoint which foods are best suited to your specific medical needs. Remember, a nutritious lifestyle that emphasizes whole grains, lean proteins, fresh fruits, and carefully chosen vegetables can go a long way in fortifying your heart and maintaining overall vitality. Ultimately, staying informed about the nutritional content of your meals and making deliberate choices about how you source and prepare your food will help you lead a healthier, more fulfilling life, one meal at a time.